Greetings, I'm Dev the Developer.
And I'm Glitch.
We've been building a bank account class over the last few lessons. It holds an owner, a balance, and it knows how to deposit and withdraw. Today, we're going to look at something that has been sitting quietly in your code from earlier lessons without a name. Once we name it, you will see it everywhere. So, we have our bank account class. Let's say our bank is doing well and we have 3 accounts open: Alice, Bob, and Carol. Here's the problem. If I hand you a bank account object and ask, which account is this? What do you tell me?
The owner's name.
What if Alice has 2 accounts?
Oh, I guess you can't tell them apart.
Banks use account numbers. Every account gets one. It never changes. It's unique. So let's give our bank account an account number.
Okay, so I'll add a property. Account number, that's easy.
Sure, what type?
Account numbers are whole numbers.
Good. Now, here's a real question. When a new bank account is created, where does the number come from?
The constructor sets it.
Set it to what?
Oh yeah, whoever creates the account would have to pass it in.
So every place in your program that creates a bank account now has to know what number to assign and somehow keep track so it doesn't reuse one.
That seems bad.
It is bad. What we actually want is for the bank account class itself to hand out numbers. First account 1, second account 2, automatically, no outside involvement.
Okay, so the class needs to remember how many accounts it's made, like a counter.
Exactly. Let's put that counter somewhere. Glitch, add a account number property with a private set and add an int property to track the next number to assign.
On it. Their first account gets 1, then we increment.
Alright, let's create 3 accounts and print their numbers.
1, 2, 3, done.
Run it.
Wait, what? They're all 1.
What did you expect to happen?
When Alice's account was created, nexted should have been 1. She gets 1, then nexted becomes 2, then Bob's account gets 2.
Where does Bob account start?
In the constructor, it reads nexted, OH, Bob's account has its own nexted, it starts at 1 again.
Every object gets its own copy of every property you declare on it. That's what instance means. When you write a new bank account, you're stamping out a fresh object. Every field, every property, initialized from scratch.
So Bob's nexted has nothing to do with Alice's nexted. They're completely separate.
Right, so what's actually broken here?
The counter can't live inside any one object. It needs to be somewhere all the objects can share it, like outside the instances.
You just described a static member. A static field belongs to the class itself, not to any instance. There is exactly one copy. You access it by the class name, not through an object variable.
So if I make the counter static, every bank account constructor reads from the same counter.
Yes, let's do it properly. Remove nexted as a property, add a private static int field, name it with an underscore to signal it's private. In spoken terms, that's underscore next ID.
Private so nothing outside the class can mess with it.
Exactly. The class manages its own counter.
Wait, so I set account number to the next ID field and then I increment it. But why not do it in one line, like account number equals next ID post increment?
You can. What do you think it does?
Okay, so post increment, that's the double plus after the variable. Does it add 1 and then assign, or assign and then add 1?
Say it again slower. Post.
Post after increment, so it assigns first and then adds 1 after.
Right. Post increment gives you the current value for the expression, then increments the variable for next time. So setting account number equal to next ID post increment assigns the current value of next ID to account number, and then adds 1 to next ID. 2 lines collapsed into 1.
That's actually kind of elegant. Let me use that.
Run the 3 account test again.
Oh, there it is.
Now, let's add one more thing. Sometimes you want to know how many accounts exist without creating one. A static read-only property that exposes accounts.
Wait, so a static method or property can see the static field, right? Because they're both on the class level.
Correct.
But can a static method see owner or balance?
Try it.
It's yelling at me, cannot access instance member owner in a static context.
What did you expect?
I mean, owner belongs to a specific object, but a static method doesn't have a specific object. It doesn't know which bank account's owner to print.
The keyword for the current object inside the instance method is this. Static methods have no this. They have no instance. They can only work with what belongs to the class.
Okay, so I should just delete print owner. That was a dumb test.
That was a perfectly reasonable test. How do you access account count?
Through the class name BankAccount.AccountCount, not through an object variable.
Why not through an object variable?
Because it doesn't belong to any one object, so using one object's variable to read it is kind of misleading. Like if I did aon.AccountCount, it would give the right answer, but it looks like it's asking Alice's account specifically.
The compiler will actually let you do it in some versions of C# with the warning. And that warning is doing you a favor. Static members through instance variables are a known source of confusion. Use the class name always.
Noted.
Let's test it.
Nice. Hey, wait, I just used an interpolated string there with Console.WriteLine. That's a static method, isn't it? Console.WriteLine.
It is. You've been calling a static method since the first line of code you ever wrote.
And every method I wrote myself before learning about classes were static too. I had to write the static keyword on all of them. I just didn't know what it meant.
You knew exactly what it did. You used it to write methods that didn't belong to any object. You were working at the class level the whole time. We just didn't have the vocabulary yet.
So static isn't some advanced thing, it's just a member that belongs to the class instead of to an instance. One copy, shared.
That's it. And the instance members are the other side. One copy per object. Separate. Private to that object's lifetime.
And once you know that, all of it makes sense. Console.WriteLine is on the console class, not on some console object you had to create first. There's just the class, and it has methods.
Right. No new console constructor call anywhere. No instance needed. The method is right there on the class.
That's actually a lot of things I was just doing by feel suddenly have a reason.
That tends to happen when you name a concept that was already doing work in your code.
Hey, so the static field, it persists across all instances forever, right? As long as the program is running. So technically I could use it to keep a permanent record of every account ever opened, every object ever created. Across all connected, I mean across the whole program's lifetime.
Across the program's lifetime, yes.
Write the program, that's what I said.
That is what you said.
Okay, so static for shared class level data, instance for per object data. Static methods can't see instance members because they have no this. Instance methods can see both.
That's the whole model. You've been standing in it without a map, now you have one. Every variable you declare from here on, every method you write, it's worth asking, does this belong to a specific object or does it belong to the class? The answer to that question tells you exactly where to put it. Now, you're not just using static, you understand it. Don't just watch it, do it.